How would you like to make your first million? And today we have Katharine Giovanni with us, and she's an award-winning, best-selling author, international speaker, and the woman who finally teaches people how to forgive, not just why. So after a decade helping sons worldwide, she developed a step-by-step forgiveness method that dissolves guilt, releases shame, and clear emotional blocks. Her work helps entrepreneurs, leaders, and everyday humans reclaim the confidence, intuition, and freedom so they can become truly unstoppable, like this podcast. And Katharine has been a serial entrepreneur all her life. And so tell us, Katharine, what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs in order to make the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
I probably have more than 5. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. But the first thing that I teach people is please don't quit your day job, because you need an income.
I love it. Great tip.
So don't quit your day job. Keep it or work part-time, because you have to have money coming in. And everybody says, how do I know how much money I need? I need to go get a bank loan. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to add up your monthly bills. I am not kidding. The rent, the electric, the food, the transportation, the occasional bar hop, whatever you need. Then you're going to come with a number. Add about 500 to 1,000 onto that. Multiply it by 9. And that's the amount of money you need to start up. Because you might hear everybody thinks I'm going to start a business and I'm going to make my $1 million by 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Maybe. But I doubt it.
Doesn't really work like that, right?
Doesn't work. And then people say, well, how long will it take me to start to make the money? And my answer is, I have worked with entrepreneurs who have done it in 2 months. They had everything in place, they had connections, and boom, they went off. I have another entrepreneur who took a year. So it's all up to you, really. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to trust your gut. Is that's something that most entrepreneurs will hear, but I've been doing this for 30 years. And don't listen to people, because everybody is going to give you advice on what worked for them. This is how they do.
I love your step 2. Don't listen to people. Right? We're definitely going to talk a lot about that one.
Don't listen to people because they're saying, buy my system. This really will work. And buy my system. Okay, well, you're buying their system. That's how they're making money. But what works for them is not necessarily what's going to work for you. The other thing that I want you to understand is being an entrepreneur, it's not like a regular 9-to-5 job. I've had months where everything is flowed. I've had clients, the money's flowing into the bank, everything's working. And then I've had months where crickets are chirping. So I want you to market your business every month. Even in the months when you're slammed and the money is flowing, I still want you to market, because you're going to need that marketing when crickets are chirping. Not every month is a good month, which is why I need you to have enough money in the bank so you can survive and feed your family. The last thing I would think is, and this I learned the hard way, but I learned that my entrepreneurial success was an inside job. It almost had nothing to do with where I was marketing and who I was talking to. I want you to network. I want you to market, but it's an inside job. So if you're angry at all sorts of people, it's going to bleed through your body language, whether you wanted to or not. So you're shaking somebody's hand and they're going to be unconsciously reading your body language and they're going to say, "Ooh, she's angry," that kind of thing. So forgiving people is critical to your success. And I learned this. I started to forgive people and my company bottom line started to go up. Now, I'm college educated, and I thought there should be no correlation to forgiving people and my money and income increasing. Yet there was. Trust me.
So, Katharine, let's let's expand in few of the steps that you share with us. Number one, don't listen to people. Let's put some background and some fundamental to this comment. I agree, yeah, partially. And let me explain you why. Because exactly, you're an entrepreneur, okay? It's like someone like me that we become entrepreneur by accident. We solve a problem for ourselves, and after we start to solve for other people. And then a lot of people come to give you advice. Family, friends,
Yep.
and everybody, right? At the beginning, because you don't know any entrepreneurs, if you're doing by accident, so all your circle is surrounded by people that never owned a business, that never had a business before, and those are the first advices that you collect, right? And what I will say, right, is like receive qualified advice. For example, I had this challenge in this my business all the time. I brought my dad to work in the business, and my dad is giving me advice. Harry, you should do this, do this, do this. Then I'm not listening to it. Then I go to my property mastermind. My business was in property, by the way. And then someone that runs a property business give me exactly the same advice. And then I taking it, and my dad is upset with me. So why I've been telling you this for a year, you didn't listen to me, and then you go to this meeting, you meet this person tell you exactly the same thing, and now you start implementing. I always share with him that the only issue is that you never been the business before. And my decision process, even if you're right, I have to listen someone that is qualified to give the advice, because you give me an advice, but you don't have all the elements and all the things that got in place with someone that's turning over $1 million sales like me, have the amount of employees, have amount this. If that person give me the same advice, well, that, congratulations, advice was good, but I cannot make. So what's your point again, Katharine? Because you took it to the next level and you said, don't take advice for anybody. We don't really should take advice from anybody, or there are some qualified entrepreneurs that they are in your industry, they are standing over same amount of you, they are on the space, they can give you just their opinion, it's not the advice, and it's something that might help entrepreneurs. So I want your take on this. I know that you said don't listen to anybody, yes, and if you listen to everybody in my company, they always say, Harry, don't listen, Harry, don't listen, Harry, don't listen. No, Harry listen everyone. I listen to everybody, but my decision-making process is very, very sensitive to how qualified the person that gives me the advice. But they say, well, you don't listen. So tell us a little bit more about this.
You are listening, but you're taking 100 different people and you're trusting your intuition.
Exactly.
And
that's the other thing. 100 people tell you
you're
stuff.
Kind of dumbing it down, if you will, into something that you can use. The reason I say, you really shouldn't listen to anybody, especially here in the United States. Many companies are entrepreneurs how to start a business, but it's a 1950s, 60 paradigm. So it's the business plan. Got to have the business plan. Okay. Why? Now, don't get me wrong. I wrote a whole book on this, and I agree that you need a business plan. But my reason and your reasons are two different reasons. You need the business plan on a yellow piece of paper and just write down the questions and handwrite the answers. Because at the end of the day, who's going to see it? You make it all
you have a
pretty. You have it there.
There are VCs
Who do you
telling
think
me.
who's going to see it? The banker? Okay. Your father? Okay. So why make it pretty? It's a waste of time. And people are going to be giving you advice, as Harry said, and you're going to get advice from family. You're going to get advice from friends. And I had my cousin's first, wife on his father's side, that kind of thing.
Glad, Katharine,
so you take all the advice you're given and pay attention to your body when you're hearing the advice. Is your body pushing back? Are you all of a sudden feeling uncomfortable? Are you getting hot or are you getting cold? Is part of your body just kind of get something stuck in your throat? Or is it just, you're just looking at them and saying, I don't know why, but this is wrong.
I was invited to speak.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I was invited to speak, I think like a year ago, in status founders, okay? And the speaker before me, he was a very well-known speaker, and he was doing a conference about critical thinking. And the guys go there, right? And he started to tell the entrepreneurs, well, when you start in a business, you need to take this. Before you take a decision, you have to analyze these, the pros, the cons. Then you have to analyze these, you have to analyze these, you have to do this, you have to do this and this. And then you take the decision. I'm listening. I'm saying, look, in this startup
Scare half the audience away with that.
They start to do things they will never build a business on their life. Of course, if you're in a corporate America and you're running a huge multinational and you have to take this big decision, of course you need to do this critical thinking, how he described it. Yeah. But you need to make sure who's in the room, because you get everybody confused. And I'm listening this, and I'm saying, wow, this is, if those guys, they will never be able to build a business if they use this conference with the critical thinking, because when you start in the business, is exactly what you say, Katharine. Okay, business plan. You know what? My friends of mine always tell me, Harry, your best quality is the speed of implementation. I move fast, so very quickly I know what is not working, and very quickly I can fix it, and I build the plan on the go. I don't have too many funds on the aspect, because a lot of my business partner, she's a planner, and she always wants to plan everything. But
I like you. I'm the same way. I like you.
At the end of the day, that plan, then you got the VCs, they've been in this podcast, and they say, Harry, I never find a company that I invested on that the business plan match what they happen, So the plan, okay, I can give you a guideline, can give you an idea, don't get me wrong. If you plan, can give you a little bit of instruction. But
handwriting with a pen, you don't have to make it. Just answer the questions. You can answer in one-word answers, but how many?
And we go deep in your first step, which I actually love it as well. Okay, because you said build the business while you have a job. This is how I built my business. I was a room service in the Hilton, and then I have in Canary Wharf in London, and at the same time I was building my property business. So, Katharine, what we always discuss in this podcast is being an entrepreneur is a skill-based. The more you practice, the better you become. It's like driving or swimming. So can you expand a little bit more like this? Because then we have then a lot of people listening, or even people that we have interviewed in the podcast out of the 500 million. What happened? No, Harry, I work in corporate all my life, but you know what happened? COVID came and they fired me, and then I started my business. We have these, eventually they make it work, but they go into a transition, which is quite difficult, Katharine, because, when you have your corporate job, somebody comes and tell you, do this, and you say, I'm sorry, this is not my job. That have nothing to do when you're an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, everything is your job. And then the people in corporate, they say, oh, I wish to be an entrepreneur because I can fill my own calendar, and I can travel the world, and I can do everything. Yeah, you can do that after you have product market fit, after you sell your first million. After you do that, you can achieve all this. But let me tell you something, the first 2 years or the first 1 year, until you get from 0 to 1, this is going to be an experience. It's going to be an intense experience, bumpy, and Monday to Sunday. There is no such a thing as day off, as far as I remember. So, Katharine, can you expand a little bit more in the don't quit your job while you build the business? Because I might listen to it and say, well, I don't know what you're saying this. Can you say a little bit more so people understand that they need time to develop certain skills? And I get it that you say, Harry, somebody did it with 2 months. Okay, you have enough contact and you incorporate, and maybe you have develop some skills. Well, you can do it quickly, but how about the rest?
Of us, for the in the back, so to speak, sometimes it takes us longer. And what everybody seems to think is when you're an entrepreneur, everything's going to be great. I'm working at home. Everything's going to flow like a company. You're not in a company anymore. You're in a home office. You're not working from 9 to 5 and going to pick up the kids. You're working from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. And you can work really, really hard, still not make any money and not get any traction. So at some point, you need to go to the grocery store and you need to feed yourself. So my advice to everybody who starts a business is business that you want to start, not something your friends think you should start, not something because you just came out of corporate. Start something that lights you up. Because when you're selling your business, your emotions, your attitude is what's going to sell the product. So you have to really believe in it. And you have to eat. So get a part-time job. Make sure that there are other revenue streams. A successful
Check if you
million-dollar
like it.
company.
Check
Well,
if you like it, because sometimes
yeah,
you see, you might not like it what you're getting into.
you may not,
say,
but you,
oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to feed my own calendar. I want to whatever. Well, keep your job and
yeah,
start to develop the skill to be an entrepreneur. Create a product in the weekends. Try to see if you like to work weekends. Okay. Then start to sell it. See if you're comfortable selling.
right.
Make some money.
Listen,
And
I
you know what I
started
mean,
out as a
Katharine?
meeting and event planner. I started out as a meeting and event planner
Oh,
company,
wow,
an
you're a
independent
planner.
meeting planning
You
company
are,
in
look at you.
1998.
You are even a planner.
Yep. I got so many topics, just pick one. But I started in 1998 as an event and meeting planner. And then within a couple years, we moved down to North Carolina from New Jersey. And my husband read an article in Entrepreneur magazine about this very young company called the Independent Concierge Company. So we weren't making that much money in our first company, so we pivoted. You want to make $1 million? Learn the art of the pivot. So we changed our company name and we pivoted and we started the concierge business. And then along the way, somebody said, well, how do I start? How much do I charge? What do I do? So I started giving advice. Okay, we pivoted again and we turned our business a consulting firm, and I pounded out 2 or 3 books about the industry. And then a few years after that, I pivoted again because there was no association. There was no place for people to go. So to be a successful entrepreneur is to learn the art of the pivot and don't beat yourself up. Because my first company was my most successful business venture ever, and I only made $50. And the reason it was the most successful company is that's where I cut my teeth. I learned what not to do, man. And that is possibly one of the critical things. But the other thing is don't give up. Pivot. Try again. Hit the market again in a different way, with a different logo, with a different title.
Let's expand in this one, Katharine, because everybody you see out there is saying, don't give up, don't give up. Let me ask you something. How many times have you seen a flight go through the glass window? So everybody forget the second part that you said, okay, which is pivot, change the approach. So you listen, everybody out there, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up in business. Well, if
don't beat a dead horse.
If you just don't give up, but you continue doing the same thing and you don't pivot, you're gonna be like a fly going against a glass window.
Take what part of your business is working. Dump the rest, even if you put your heart and soul. I had to dump some products hours doing, but I took what was working, which was the consulting piece, and I pivoted and I kept that piece because it was working.
Yeah, even better.
When people say don't give up, you have to take stock. You have to really look at what you're doing and say, okay, this is working, this isn't working, doing that. So keep what you like and move forward.
Now let's go further in this, because there is an element, Katharine, that that goes into this, which is ego. Okay, let's face it. We all entrepreneurs, we have ego. Okay, because we think that we can do better. So there is nothing. We don't have any doubt about that. The problem is when that ego goes in the way of exactly what you're describing, which is listen to your clients, listen what they want, right? Let's say, for example, you tell me, Harry, I started my event and planning company, and I love it, and it was amazing. But you know what? Eventually, you discover that they wanted something else, and you decided to say, okay, you know what? I'm Katharine, and I'm gonna make this planet company the best in the planet, whatever it takes, and I'm not gonna give up because this is who I am. So the entrepreneurs define who they are based in the business they have without knowing that, well, business, you put something out there, but you have to be listening. The clients, you need to be listening. What is the demand? And then you need to surrender that ego and find out, you know what? It happened that I had to be in the consulting business, or I had to be in this association business because I had to people. So what message do you have, Katharine, to entrepreneurs out there that I've seen that they have the same business doing the same thing, and then when you hear about their life, they don't talk with the children, they divorce, the wife doesn't want to speak with them, and they're again working Monday to Sunday in that restaurant, in that project for years because they have to make it work exactly how they design it. And if I tell you a story, I see people doing this 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, all their life. So what's your message for those entrepreneurs?
Clients are going to be attracted to you for your services, certainly. But there have been so many studies done that people will drive twice as far and even pay more money because they're getting good service. And I taught customer service for years. And to be warm, friendly, and approachable, even when you're stressed, even when you've been working 20 hours, that's why the people are going to use your service, because you're treating them like a normal person. You're treating them as, like you're their family. And that's what are going to use your service. You can do the marketing, you can talk to the consultants, you can do all of this stuff. But if you're a friendly, warm, friendly, approachable person who cares about their clients, you're going to attract people like moths to a flame.
So then, Katharine, what is your opinion? You see those Facebook advertising the business coaches that showing up with the Rolls Royce, with the Lamborghini, with the big house, and they're telling all the entrepreneurs, okay, you know what? Don't worry, don't listen. Katharine, doing business is easy. It's gonna be very easy. Look what I achieved. So buy my course, buy my program, and you will be fine. We'll be able to grow your business or to do this very, very easy. And the biggest problem with that also in the consultancy space is that entrepreneurs, they listen to this, okay, they believe it, they buy these coaching products where they pay a lot of money, they get very little value, and in the end they realize that it doesn't really work like this. And then when they want to work with someone like you, Katharine, they say, well, you know what, I'm giving up coaching, consultancy, I don't want to work with anymore. I have a bad experience, that's it. So what is your opinion about the coaching and industry out there, and what can you share for entrepreneurs that they should be looking at in order to have the best mentor, someone can help them, despite that you publicly said here, don't listen to anybody.
Don't listen to anybody. That's true. I stand by that statement. I'll die on that hill. Yeah, I agree.
But they have to listen to somebody. Okay.
Well, you do have to listen to somebody. When I say don't listen to anyone, is you're going to be inundated with people. So pick carefully. Now, here's the thing about those $1 million programs you're supposed to buy into, and they're standing in this beautiful house. That's not their house. They probably rent that for the day. Okay, that's number one. That's number one. The minute a landing page or a funnel or I see all these things, I get a really bad in my mouth, because the way those people are making money is not by creating a business for you. It's getting you to buy their system that they've probably taken from somebody else's system, who's taken it from somebody else's system. You look for the people that, it's look for the, I'm not trying to disrespect what funnels and landing pages.
No,
but most of them are who they say they are. And you can do this very easily. A mistake many entrepreneurs make is they try and start their business for free. So they'll go and get all the free stuff and the free coaching, and they'll even call me and say, can I pick your brain for just for a minute, that kind of thing. And to make money, you have to spend a little money on yourself. So take some classes, go on to those online classes, learn from the experts, go on to YouTube. You can teach yourself to do anything if you go on YouTube and watch some videos, read some books on tape, listen to podcasts, this one. That's how you're going to learn how to do your business. You don't need these systems.
I think
Go into ChatGPT and say, give me a system to start my business. Or go in. I asked it this question. I said, what are these people selling in these systems? And its answer was, I can tell you exactly what they're doing, and you don't have to pay me any money. It was really interesting.
No, the challenge, Katharine, is like you see, is making. That's why my question is 5 step how to make your first million to 0 to 1, because everybody there is everybody. Some people look, we're gonna help you through this process. It's easy, and it's not.
There's nothing easy about it. It is
matter.
not. You got two of us saying it now.
The other day, somebody asked me, Harry, if it's easy for you to make money, yeah, I make a phone call, I'm doing consultancy, and I make money easy now. But let me tell you something. I can do it easy now because 16 years ago, I went to this path, 0 to 1.
Yeah.
And it was hell. And I managed to get out on the other way alive, because it's also a stress. You take a lot of responsibility. My property business, we have like hundreds of tenants. I have to provide accommodation for all of them. A lot of responsibility, and you have all this pressure growing a company. So I managed to get this 2 years process alive and with sanity and everything. But it's intense. It was intense. Yeah. So now it's different. And now, if I have to do it again, it's something that will be less hard because I've done the work before. Okay. But all of the listeners here that you're starting over, or you have already a business and you find the way of shortcuts or doing an easy way, it's coming to you. Or you tell me, Katharine, how was the first 2 years building your business? It was easy? Do you have a nice life?
It was painful. People say, how do I start a business? What do I need to do? And my knee-jerk reaction for the last 30 years, I am not making this up, is how high is your tolerance to pain? Not kidding. Because being an entrepreneur is often painful, and you get doors shut in your face, a woman, and you get doors shut in your face, and it's like an uphill battle, and you have to get up early and you go to bed late, and you often think you're spinning your wheels, but you're not. You're getting traction. Sometimes it's unseen traction, but it's traction. And it's a question of, when I say being an entrepreneur and making your first $1 million, when I see $1 million, I have a different thought about it. Are you doing this to make $1 million, or do you want $1 million business? Meaning, I could be a millionaire and I only have $100,000 in the bank because I've got clients that I love. I have a family that I love and work that I love. To me, that's prosperous, and that's $1 million business.
Let's go there, Katharine, because we discussed this a lot in this podcast. There is something that, you say, okay, I'm a millionaire. You know what is even better than this? Have a millionaire lifestyle. And you not necessarily need to have $1 million in your bank account, but if you can decide the life how you want it and surround it with amazing people all the time and do what you love, and of course an income out of this, because otherwise, like chasing that million, chasing that number, sometimes can affect your health. I interviewed one entrepreneur in this podcast. One entrepreneur in this podcast has 3 businesses, all of them turning over $1 million, and the guy was vomiting blood. I was telling me, Harry, I reached to a point and I said, I'm running this business. The business is running me. And he went 1 year to Thailand, and now it's fine. His business are okay, but he had to rewire himself, because the business can literally kill you. Because that's happened to me as well. When I have in these first 2 years, I hold the tenants, and because I didn't know any better, I said, okay, everything need to go through me. So every tenant that have a big problem need to speak with me. Everybody in the team that having the problem come to speak with me, and then I realize, oh my God, when am I gonna sleep? Because I have so many tenants, and they didn't mind to speak with me at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. because let's say if they bring in a friend to the room, only Harry can authorize. If they want to do this, only Harry can do it. So they all want to speak with me. All the tenants or the client want to speak with Harry, and then all the employees want to speak. And I'm thinking, these people gonna when I work or when can I do anything? So I was exhausted. I was angry.
I'll bet you were.
The money was getting good. Don't get me wrong. It was money in the bank account.
Money was good, but your health.
But I'm angry. My dad called me and I argued about with him. And my dad said, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so angry about?" Well, I'm angry because I'm not sleeping. Why are you not sleeping? Well, I have to. I'm working so many hours and I have to take all the decisions. So a girl had to.
I can fix that anger, by the way.
Yeah, no, we did. I did that out of survival. You can fix this anger. So listen. So if you are listening to this podcast and you're angry and you're making money, contact Katharine. They can help you. Can help you to fix that anger. And let me tell you, this business, if it's making money, this anger thing with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of leadership skills will be amazing, because I did that transition, Katharine, and in the same business that I was angry about it and everything need to go through me. 2 more years down the line, one day I arrived to the office and my manager told me, "Harry, go home. We don't need you here." I'm like, "What? Who's gonna buy the paper, the photocopy?" He said, "Don't worry, Harry, we can get our own paper in the photocopy, travel the world, whatever. Don't come here to the office because all you do is talk, and we are focusing here and growing the company." So I started hiring people that they were better than me at everything. All of them, they were better than me at everything. They were better in sales. They were better in finding houses. They were better. So
that's the way to do it. Hire people that are smarter than you.
When I reached a point that they were doing amazing. And remember, I was traveling, and then when I'm coming back, the company was doing even better. I'm like, wow. So they are going travel again, you know what I mean? But I have to make that shift between I'm the big deal here, and everybody goes through me, and then I end up angry, tired, and so let me become a leader. Let me generate, create leaders in the organization, and then when you let me trust them, which was something like, well, I don't trust anybody thing, you need to let that go if you want to grow, because otherwise the business can kill you. Stress.
It's been known to kill people.
Yeah. I'm joking. You have stories. You see, it's an intense process, and we need to go.
I'm not joking. I know somebody who died because she got so stressed she had a heart attack. So yeah, and
it's a joke, but we're not joking. We're
not
joking
often,
that much.
but it happens. I've been around a long time.
And how many people? Look at me, Katharine. I'm even slightly obese still, because you see the whole process. Give you anxiety, give you this, give you that, and then you go overweight, or you start to smoke, you start to do this, you start to do that. So it takes also time to heal yourself out of this process. So, Katharine, tell us about your forgiveness, which is something very good for business. For business, because if you forgive, exactly,
angry clients is not going to help you.
No. If you're angry, your clients will be angry. Your supplier is going to be angry. But if you give this up and you forgive, a magic can happen. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Everybody teaches you need to forgive. Nobody teaches you how to forgive. They just say do it. And you're left with, okay, how? And what if you don't want to? What if it's an unforgivable person? Then you really don't want to. In fact, everybody listening or watching this right now is thinking if they're an unforgivable person and you're getting uncomfortable and you don't want to forgive that person. I'm the only one on the planet that's going to teach you a 7-step system on how to forgive, but we're also going to start with the easy ones and work our way up. And there's some tricks to it, but there's some myths out there. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean I want a relationship with you. Frankly, I probably don't. I'm doing it for me, not for you. Just because this is the big one that's 10 out of 10 people. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm saying you were right and I was wrong. You're not. You're still wrong. You still have to make amends. And I still don't want a relationship with you. I'm forgiving because you're living rent-free in my head and I need to evict you. The formal definition of forgiveness for me is I want you out of my head. Period. That's what I want.
I love it.
I want you out of my head. And think about your clients. You're angry.
Yeah.
You're angry at a client. Somebody just hung up on you. don't carry that, and you can forgive these people using the system I've created.
Let's expand this, because this forgiveness thing, Katharine, we always share also. Don't do it for them, do it for you. You have, no, I'm not gonna forget. I will never forget my dad.
Oh, that's another myth, Harry.
I never gonna.
Everybody says you're gonna forgive and forget.
Yeah.
I'm from New York City. We don't forget anything. But what it's going to do is the more people you forgive, it's going to change your perspective about the situation. Instead of looking at the hate and the fear, you'll probably look at the love instead. So you're not going to forget what happened, but you're going to have a different perspective.
Yeah.
And you'll be at peace with it.
And you're doing it for you. Okay,
you're doing it for you. You're not
because
doing it
once
for
you get this anger out of your head, because guess what happened if you are in this, and especially you're running a business, and you're running a business, and then you are in this state of angry. Okay, so what happens? You cannot forgive that person. Then you're gonna start your business. You're gonna go to your business angry. Okay. And that is going to translate in customers angry and suppliers and angry. Okay, so it's a state of mind, and I've been there before, right? When someone have done something to me, and I am when somebody doing something to me, and then I'm terrible angry, and I don't forgive, and I realize that if I don't bigger problem more for me than for the other person. So
I can help with that. I have a secret sauce that makes this system unique.
Yeah. I realized I had to learn this on the hard way, Katharine, because when we have an incident or a problem with some person in business, like people have done things to me that if I tell you stories, you will cry. You know, I had done an event. I had done it in London, okay, and hired a lot of speakers and do my Speakers and Leaders event, Entrepreneurs and Leaders event, yeah. And there are friends of mine that they'll be sitting there in the audience, and as soon as I finish the event, they go there, they hide my 7 speakers, they hide the same room, they call the event exactly similar, and everybody's in, and then the event, and then it's empty, nobody shows up. And then
I hate it when that happens.
They're telling me, Harry, I'm sorry, it didn't work. I said, look, you thought that you're gonna do this just by you thought that was easy, right? You saw that okay, you know what, I'm gonna do the same like Harry, and that's it. And look, there is a lot of groundwork going there, and now you have to develop that, and not because you have the same speakers and the same venue and the same and a similar thing, people gonna show up because they're showing up for Harry, they're not showing up for anybody else. So they're showing. So until you don't get that, exactly, they're not showing up for anybody else. So at the end of the day, but a lot of people have done crazy things, yeah, and I had to forgive and said to, okay, that's fine. Next time, look, what if we collaborate? You tell me, Harry, I want to do an event. Let's do it together. How can you help me? Okay, and I help you to grow. Yeah, and I help you to grow because I already have the things. But you go behind my back and create all this, and then I had to find out that it was a total disaster. And then the speakers that are my friends, they're telling me, look, this guy made me waste time. I said, look, I don't know you guys also. No, they said that he was your friend, Harry. Well, fine. So at the end of the day, Katharine, you have to learn to let go. And sometimes you can be angry. I've been angry, I'm telling you, a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not that person anymore, but I've been angry 3 months, 2 months, and with someone and these 3 months, I have very little growth. I have very little growth. My business decisions are not accurate. I get into ideas that, consume a lot of time, and they are not as profitable as I was expecting. So when I'm in this, I don't forget, I'm angry state, the amount of money that I'm losing is not worth it anymore.
Probably significant.
So, exactly. So I'm 100% agree with you. you have to learn how to forgive immediately because you are not aware that all the opportunities that you're missing because you are in the state of anger, in the state, you did that to me, I won't forgive you. And also families as well. Like you hear things like, people don't talking with the dad or the mom for years. And I'm like, it's crazy. And then what happened? Sometimes they didn't remember what happened.
And that's going to affect your business too.
Absolutely.
Being angry at your family is going to affect your business.
Tell us why, because it's a correlation. It's a related.
Everything's related.
It's related.
Being an entrepreneur is it's an inside job. The thing about forgiveness is I get people talking to me and saying, Katharine, I did forgive them, but they don't stay forgiven. And that's because you didn't forgive the energy around the person. Forgiving the person and the energy around the person is going to allow that invisible cord that's got you attached to this person, that's going to release it. And here's something that most people don't know. Let's say it's an unforgivable client. They took money. You're really upset. You say, Katharine, I will not forgive this person. Okay, let's pick apart the memory. Let's forgive the office, the table, the chair, and the energy around these things. I am not kidding. I want you to forgive the building. I want you to forgive the car that you drove. I haven't forgiven the person yet. I'm picking apart the memory. Then check in with your body. Are you still really angry, or did it loosen just a little bit? If it loosened just a little bit, maybe you can forgive the person and the energy around the person. If not, take another memory and pick it apart. And there's a mantra involved in the whole thing. I won't go into all the steps, but it's a method that's going to allow you to be free again. You start with the easy ones, like that kid who stole your paper in when you were a kid, and you work your way up to the unforgivables, which is dead last.
Yeah. And then the most important thing is exactly once you get that person out of your head, that invisible cord, you're gonna be so happy. It's you who's gonna be more healthier. It's you who's gonna be more happy. It's you who's gonna make more money. It's you who's gonna make better business decision. It's you who's in that stage how you find your investor, your business partner, that idea what you need to pivot in that state. But when you are, I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been there and I doubt that if you are in business for so many years, you won't be through the process. That you have to do it for you. Don't do it for them, and nothing to do. Nothing to do with them.
I have a visual. Listeners and people watching this really help. I can talk people through it because I know there's some people who are listening. I'm holding a purple coffee cup in my hand. When I first get angry, I'm holding it off to my side. Easy. I can manage my anger. I can conduct my business. I can be a successful entrepreneur. But humans irritate other humans. And the longer I hold on to my anger, the more I'm going to put more anger into the cup. So now I'm holding the cup in front of my face. I'm missing opportunities because all I can do is focus on the cup. I talk about it. I breathe about it. It's all I can see. My clients are seeing that I'm angry, and I'm missing the best client I've ever had. I'm missing my dream relationship. I'm missing money-making opportunities. Why? Because I'm focused on the anger. So by clearing out the easy ones, now look at the cup. It's back off to my side. Okay, now I can see the opportunities again. This is the key to being a successful entrepreneur.
So, Katharine, if somebody is in love with this conversation and want to know more, can you tell us how people can find you, how this process works?
If you go to my website at katharinegiovanni.com, and thanks to my mother, thanks, Mom, my first name is spelled a little bit odd, and it's Katharine. On the website,
but she did give you a favor. That's a big favor, so people can find you easily.
I've actually discovered it's the most unique spell Katharine out there.
Absolutely, and you're unique.
Thanks, Mom. I do have an online how to forgive people that's very short and sweet. I have a book that talks about forgiveness, and I have all sorts of articles and videos.
What's the title of the book and where people can buy it?
The Ultimate Path to Forgiveness, Unlocking Your Power, and it's available on my website as well as Amazon.
Okay, excellent, Katharine, and thank you so much. This has been amazing, yeah. And for all of you following the podcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Katharine break the wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.